morning. I'm Latvia's Foreign Minister Baiba Braže. We had already a busy evening yesterday with a dinner with the Western Balkan partners. There are good news. Albania will be opening another chapter in negotiations, the cluster on internal market, the substance of what the EU is about. Also a lot of discussion on the values, alignment of CFSP, including sanctions, including very clear guidance from EU member states for the candidates not to participate in the 9th May parade in Moscow, not to do those trips, as it would be not in line with the EU values. So today, of course, support to Ukraine, very practical discussion both on money but also on the military support, on EU's own capacity. And that follows on from a very good discussion we had last week at the NATO ministerial meeting. And as you know, nowadays most of the EU is in NATO. There are a few countries remaining outside. So there's a lot of alignment. Middle East, also another discussion on the Western Balkans, Africa. So a lot of complications that we have in the world is reflected on the agenda today.
What kind of consequences are you willing to take after the Sumi attack?
Once again,
What kind of consequences are you willing or able to take after the Sumi attack?
Sumi attack. I mean, it was of course absolutely shocking attack. So we will have a pretty robust discussion also with regard how we engage with the US and what does it mean, how do we prevent all that, because yes, we need the air defenses for Ukraine. For Sumi it's very difficult because of the distance from where the Russians are located. It's quite close, so the warning time is very short. So what is possible in terms of air defenses, but also in the same time to take out those capabilities. So Ukraine is doing quite well with various capabilities they own, but also F-16s, also the drones, the long-range drones, and so on and so forth. So there is a good momentum in there.
Isn't it the case that President Trump is slowly learning what the Europeans have told him all along, that Putin cannot be negotiated with, that he doesn't want peace?
Listen, I don't know what is learning and what is not learning, but the facts are on the ground and in the face of everyone that Russia is killing civilians, and it's killing civilians on the way to the church. It's also the Jewish Passover, beginning of the Jewish Passover, the biggest holiday of the year, the most positive holiday of the year. So it's a double whammy, and it's really Russians knew what they were doing. There is no way they can say that, oh, it was just a mistake.
But were the negotiations for peace bound to fail from the beginning?
No. We support the peace efforts, but again, it has to be peace that is lasting and just in our case. So we'll be discussing all of that. And High Representative has good proposals, so you will hear from her afterwards. Thank you.